Hey guys, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here, and in this video we are drag racing my Model A Roadster at the Langley Loafers. Correction, the 60th annual Langley Loafers Old Time Drags at Mission Raceway Park. Okay, well, it is Friday morning and we are just getting set up here at Mission Raceway. This is a pretty cool track. It is being owned and operated by the BC Custom Car Association since 1952 and it's still going strong today. So we just passed tech. We're just waiting for the track to all get set up. It looks like they're starting to set their computer systems up now for the timing and stuff, and then we are going to race. We've raced this event before. Hold on, I'm coming. We've raced this event before, always in the street rod class, but this year they have decided to have their very own hot rod or flathead class, which is for 1954 and older flathead and inline 6 powered hot rods and customs and anything that fits that criteria. So that's pretty exciting because before I was racing my flathead Roadster up against like 8-second bracket cars just because they had like a fiberglass 32 body on it, put them in the street rod class. So I haven't seen any flathead powered cars here yet, but it's still early Friday morning, so they're still rolling in for the people that had to work yesterday and couldn't come down to the track the day early. So they just made an announcement that staging lanes are now open for Friday's test and tune. There's no run order. It's just go up and just basically hot lapping, I think. So let's fire this thing up and go down to the staging lanes, and we're not going to be running against other flathead powered cars for test and tune. It's just whoever we end up beside, which is okay.
Aircraft. Yeah. You got to stay light.
Well, I made one pass this morning and it was terrible. It was a 17:57, which is over a full second slower than last year. And I don't think it's because of, so just to back up a little bit, for those that watched the video last week when I prepped this to come here, I took my full length exhaust off and I put these flex pipe headers back on that I used to run. I can't see these slowing the car down from that stock 34 Ford exhaust manifold that was on there before, but it's running a full second slower. It was kind of popping and hiccuping about 3/4 track, and then it started to clear up again. So I immediately went right back into the staging lanes and did a second run, and it was a full half a second faster, but we're still a half a second off our times from last year. So this car for the last little while is mostly just like fire it up, I back it out of the shop, shut it off. At the end of the day, fire it up, drive it back in the shop, shut it off. So it's, I don't know, it's probably not happy for that. So the runs have kind of been, I'm hoping, are clearing it out, and that's why it got faster. I'm gonna do a third run now and see what happens, and we'll go from there. If it gets faster, then we know we're on to something. If it's not getting any faster, then we'll start looking into why it's slowed down. All right, third run of the day, we ran a 1640, which is fantastic. That is the fastest this car has ever gone is a 1637. So we are, what, 0.003 of a second off our best run ever, which is perfect. So you don't need to tune your car. You just gotta like, just floor it a lot. The Italian tune-up. Can you call it an Italian tune-up? Is that still politically correct? I don't know. I better look into that. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep with that same theory and just keep running it, see what happens. Well, that last run was an amazing launch, best 60 foot I've ever had. And then I screwed up and missed the shift going into second, so it was a total wash. I mean, it was still a 1640, which is pretty good for missing a shift. So I lost a little bit of footage. I made another run after this and ran a 1626 and then decided to take the belt off. I don't know if you guys ever watched Engine Masters, but they did an episode where they were testing how much power loss mechanical fans have, and it was anywhere from like 8 horsepower to one of the engines, I think it was the LS with the truck fan, they gained like 40 horsepower by taking the fan off. So I decided to try taking my fan belt off and see if it would make any difference. I'm going to take the belt off now and just give it a try. It's pretty straightforward. I just got to loosen these 2 bolts off, drop that down a little bit, and then this belt will come off. We'll go give it a try and see if it makes a difference. All right, fan belt is off. Let's go see what happens. I left the actual fan itself on because I can't get it out of there unless I take the generator belt off, and I want to see if this actually makes a difference before we get that committed. That felt good, the temperature stayed, it was fine the whole time, no issues there. Let's go find out what our time slip says. 16 flat at 81.5 miles an hour. We gained 2.5 tenths by taking the fan off. Wow, that's incredible. I'm so stoked. That's the fastest this car has ever ran. If we can hit a 15, like I'll be made. That's it. I don't need to do anything more in life. Andrew and I just took the windshield off. We're gonna go do another run, see what happens. $15.90 at 82 miles an hour. Every run, it's just getting faster and faster. This is a fantastic day. This is the best day of racing ever. So that's it for racing on Friday, or test and tune. We did 2 more runs today. A 15.69 at 83 miles per hour. And then the last run of the day, I spun off the line and it ran a 15.87, which is still the second fastest run it's done. So I think it's pretty safe to say this is a solid 15-second car now. Tomorrow morning, all the hot rods that don't go down the racetrack are gonna park here and we're gonna resume. So hopefully there's some Flathead cars show up tomorrow, because today, so far, I think I'm the only Flathead powered car here, and we need 8 cars for the Flathead class to actually become a thing. So please come. Starting day 2, it is Saturday morning. We're just having some breakfast, getting set up. Everyone's getting their cars ready for the day. Today is another day of test and tune, but unlike yesterday where it was a free-for-all, everyone just goes up whenever they want. Today they're actually doing the class run orders, starting with the street machine class, which is muscle cars, then street classic, which is like 50s cars, then the street rod class, then the flathead class. So we got a little bit of time still. I haven't seen any Flathead powered cars here yet other than mine, so I hope more show up. I think we need 8 cars to officially have a class. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get probably amalgamated back into the street rod class, which is fine. I mean, there is a couple other Model A's running in that class, but there's also like full-blown cage tubbed out drag cars that run in that class just because they happen to be built out of a 1948 and older body. And they're not fun to run against. Not when I'm running a 15-second flathead against a 8-second big block powered drag car, but we have a fan.
Last year, remember? The hot rod pickup?
All right, they just called the flathead class to the staging lanes. Let's go see what's happening. Look at the car show starting to fill up. I don't know why this Model A Coupe's not running in the hot rod class. Alright, well, here's our flathead class.
Don't have any info.
Nobody, just me.
Driver.
Super lame. Well, there we have it, the first run in the all-new Flathead class. It's just me. I'm a little discouraged right now with the local hot rod community and their lack of support on this, but I'm gonna try not to let it ruin my day. The car spun really good off, or really bad off the line, so we only ran a 10.19. We're running 8th mile today. The Flathead class is 8th mile, so 10.19 is a little bit slower than yesterday, but that's to be expected with, you know, it spun really bad off the line. So our 60-foot yesterday, I don't remember what it was, but it was a lot faster than today. So we'll wait for our next round and try it again. Craig Ross has made it.
Yeah.
You guys remember Craig from the Toodle Drags, the Strange Drags? We got another car in the Flathead class now.
Dave's here too.
And Dave Love is here as well. He's brought his Model A, the Roadster.
Yeah, to the 28. Maybe they'll let us run all 3 of us down the track at the same time.
That'd be amazing.
He's got magnesium wheels this time. So.
Oh, he'll be fast. Flatheads. It's just myself, Craig Ross, and Dave Love. Cool, well, things are looking up. They've got us amalgamated with the street rod class, but because there is 3 flathead powered cars here, they're still letting us run on our own and still 8th mile. Craig Ross in his 37 Ford ran first. I think he ran a 1082, and then I went up against Dave Love, and I don't remember what I ran. I spun really bad on the line again. I don't know if the track's just not as good today as it was yesterday, or if it's because there's a much longer time between runs, if everything, like my tires just cool down more. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more aggressive today, but yeah, spun twice now. Dave Love ran a 12:29, I think. And I don't know if he's ever raced that car before, so he might have. Remember how we had to blow the cobwebs out yesterday? It might be a similar situation to him. Heading up for another round. .1014 up against Craig in his 37 Ford. You guys realize that 37 Ford is original paint, original interior, and original glass. It's got a 286 cubic inch flathead in that one. We ran a 1014, which is the quickest pass of the day, not as fast as we did yesterday. I don't know if it's the air that's different today or if the track's not as good. I haven't had a good launch at all. I've spun bad on every single run, so that's probably why I'm running slower today. That's our last pass of the day today. They're gonna do just another round of funny cars and front engine dragsters. And then tomorrow we got one test run in the morning, and then we're going into eliminations. Sunday morning, we're making breakfast. We got one test run to make and then eliminations. We're heading up for our first qualifying run of the day, or only qualifying run. It's considerably cooler out, which is good because that means it might go faster. Well, Sunday morning, and I don't know where Craig and Dave Love went, but they're not here. It's just me again. What a bummer. The nostalgic gas class is pulling up right now, which is all for period correct gassers. It's actually a pretty big class that unfortunately I never get to see or I never get to watch them run or film them because they're always right after me.
3242, cool looking car.
So I ran a 1025. I spun really bad on the line. Craig and Dave are here. They were just late to the staging lane, so they're running right now. I'm going to run up and see if I can catch them. Or at least it's just Dave. I don't see Craig. Ooh, a 1582. Dave's not doing so hot. I think Steve broke. This is Steve Chase, who's one of the organizers of the Nostalgia Gas class. The gasser Get Down. I don't think he got down today. So qualifying is over, and our next run we're going into eliminations, which means we needed to dial in. I dialed in at a 10:12, my best run in the 8th mile so far. Yesterday was a 10:14, and today was a 10:25 with some big time spinach on the line. So for those that aren't aware what a dial in is or what bracket racing is, it's kind of to make things a little more fair. So to explain it simply, let's say my car was running like 10 seconds all day yesterday. So today I expect it to also run 10 seconds. Say the car I'm racing was running 12 seconds all day, then they expect their car to run 12 seconds again today. If they dial in at a 12:00 and I dial in at a 10:00, they will get a 2-second head start on me. So in theory, if we both get the exact same reaction times, and I run a 10:00 and they run a 12:00, we should cross the finish line at the exact same time. The catch, if I dial in at a 10:00 and run a 9.99, I went faster than I said I was going to go, so I lose on default. So you want to try to get as close as you can to the hundredths of a second. So I've dialed in at a 10:12, and I'm hoping to run between like a 10:12 and a 10:14-ish, somewhere in there. If I go 10:11, I've gone too fast, and the other car will win. So there's bracket racing in a nutshell for you. Thanks to everybody that stopped by yesterday and today to grab some merch. If you are not here at the event to grab some merch, just check out our website, lgspeedcustom.com, and we've got all these great shirts. Collect them all.
67 Beaumont. Carson Barlow, Bowers Lane. Chevy C10 pickup, South 1370.
All right, we're heading into the staging lanes for the first round of eliminations. Craig did make it, even though I didn't see his car run. So there is 3 of us that qualified. Because there's only 3 cars, somebody gets an automatic buy run into the finals, and I got the buy run. So I'm not sure how they chose it. Some tracks use
like a computer-generated ladder that chooses who gets the bye and who races who. Others it goes by like who had the best reaction time during qualifying. So I don't know how these guys chose it, but either way, I'll take it. 2.5 window in the street rod class, which is staging right now. It's awesome to see a lot more actual hot rods running the street rod class this year rather than full-blown race cars.
Dave Love and Craig Ross. Craig Ross is in the right lane. 37-4, Dave Love. In the tower lane with his 28-4. He's down 14 seconds. Craig Ross is down 10:40.
So I'm up against Craig in the finals. I'm dialed in at a 10:12 and my last run was a 10:21. So I think I might drop my dial in to a 10:18 just to be a little closer. It's the Canadian Hot Rods team sitting here playing on their phones.
We're looking at the ladder.
Looking at the ladder.
But we're both in I'm on to the next round, you're on to the next round.
Yeah,
so,
that's great. These guys should get best appearing crew at least.
Look at the fish man. Get over here, fish. Hold on, let me take my glasses off.
Oh yeah, you look 20 years younger now.
Anyways.
They'll be back. Now Kevin Garlot and Mark Thompson.
The final round in the Flathead class. have first, second, and third. The top three in the first flathead class. We were just talking about when was the last time Mission Raceway had a flathead class. It's probably been at least 50 years, so we just made history again. So thank you guys for supporting this event.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And you guys watching at home, be here next year.
Get you next
Frank
year.
Fletcher, your car needs to be here.
Semi-finals for Nostalgia Gas. Runs the dial in. Nostalgia Gas Finals. We've got Terry, who won last year, up against Pat with El Chupacabra. Terry broke out, 1082 on a 1088 dial-in.
Dave Love for his semi-final finish. Congrats to Craig Ross for his runner-up finish, but Lee Grant was our winner. We need Lee Grant.
And back in the shop after a fantastic weekend of racing. This little car ran so good. I'm so happy with it. We had no breakdowns and made some huge improvements as far as performance goes. I'm super happy with that. The flathead class turnout was a little bit discouraging that more local hot rod enthusiasts didn't come out and support it. There was a lot of flathead powered cars in the car show that should have been on the track. The Langley Loafers and Mission Raceway put this class together for these cars. We gotta show up and support it. You have to support it, otherwise they're not gonna do it again. And then we don't have anything, we don't have a flathead class anymore, which would be devastating. So please, other flathead enthusiasts, support this event. Huge thanks to Dave Love and Craig Ross they did support it. They had an awesome time. Speaking of events, the LG Speed and Custom Reliability Run number 4 is coming up at the end of September, September 27th. That is open to pre-1964 traditional hot rods and customs, and it is just a day of driving around in our hot rods, checking out scenic Vancouver Island. So make sure to hit that up, as well as the Dogwood Dust Up is an event that's coming to Cache Creek, which is kind of in the desert of BC, at the Cache Creek Airstrip. So that is a flathead only vintage drag race. Check out the Dogwood Dust Up for details on that. And for those that didn't get merch at the track, make sure to hit lgspeedcustom.com and get your merch. Thanks so much for watching. Had a fantastic time. Thanks to the Langley Loafers and Mission Raceway for hosting such a fantastic event. And we'll see you guys on the next video.